what's left is right. Chasing stars and holding you. I can't see the end, but we'll see it through.
Yes, everybody, Russ and the West End Network. Hope you're all safe and well. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Should name a band after that. If you're new, Andy, you know what to do. You know what to do. Obviously, we're in the midst of the transfer rumour mill in terms of the January transfer window. As always, we're doing a Russy Rumour roundup, the original rumour rating. Now, obviously, it seems that actually, to be honest, looking at it, it's like 3 or 4 names which are cropping up all the time, and obviously we know how rumors are spread, and you know whether it isn't an agent's punting a particular story, and I said punting a story to a particular news outlet which gets picked up and snowballs. But it does seem there are some names which are coming out, which are appearing quite a bit. So as always, we bring you the latest rumor roundup, and these are just the rumors. These are what have been reported. We try and give our slight opinion on it, but we don't necessarily say these are our gospel. We know that's not the case. Otherwise, we would have signed 165 players in the summer, and we're approaching almost 50 already. Let's go for some comments before we crack on. Broja smacks of desperation. Did I see someone Martial is linked again? Martial, apparently, we haven't spoken about that tonight in today's thing, but he is wanting to stay in Europe. Apparently, a number of Saudi Pro League clubs have approached him, and he wants to stay in Europe. And West Ham is one of the sides, apparently, but I don't know how he can read that. We ain't going to sign either Broja or Martial. It's just nonsense rumours. We will talk about Broja because that's something that's been mentioned, and again, we'll give you our thoughts and views on that. We know he's always had a hard on for Broja. It's one of his players. There's a few of them that, you know, it's like El Nesri and people like that who regularly appear. We haven't been linked to him yet, actually. Good point. I do trust DJ Russy being these rumours. I just can't see us signing Broja or Martial, indeed. And they're not my rumours. They're people that have the rumours that are in the press. Afternoon, Ronnie. Hope you're well. Jan's in here. Matt's here. I just hope we know what we're doing. We don't know what we're doing. Budgie. It's different, though, because I think you got this is under Steinton's watch rather than Moyes' watch. And even in the summer, we were sort of panicking, weren't we? And then we bought really well, and probably the best on paper signing, summer transfer we probably had ever in terms of hit rate. I don't think we signed a duffer in the signings we signed in the summer. But usually is 1 or 2 duffies and some really good ones and some okay ones. I think all 4 of the players that we brought in the summer, 4. Yes, have all established themselves as first teamers. Aaron, good afternoon to you. Afternoon all, Daniel. I think Knotto, KWP, and Edwards would do us. Nose of Broja or Marshall, all hype, no product. Selling Ings and Johnson and loaning out that kid. Forgot his name, smacks of stupidity, especially if nobody signs. We won't sell Ings and Johnson until we get replacements in. I really hope Martial doesn't happen. Afternoon, Wazim, but Colleen Jones, hope you're well. Don't forget to just tickle it. Just tickle the like button. All good, mate. Hard on. Don't make me laugh, indeed. But you know what I mean, innit? You know exactly what I mean, though. There's certain players where he's had a hard on for, and I think JWP was one of his hard on players, and so was Maguire as well. I'm late. Have you spoken about Benny returning? No, we haven't. I can't see it happening. Going back to the well. No, I can't see it happening. I mean, it's no, I can't see it happening. Afternoon, Brian. Please say Guillem is on his way. What odds we don't bring in any permanent signings and maybe just a couple of loans? Jonathan Rowe really cites me as a player more than Clarke. I think because he's got a lot of pace. I think for me, Jonathan is very much a speedster. Clarke is more of a likened to a young Grealish. So he's a bit more silky skiller than Rowe. Rowe's very raw. And I think he would excite people, but I think he'd frustrate people as well, as in terms of losing the ball, things like that. Try and do too much. He's very much still learning. I mean, they're both 20 and 23 respectively, but we'll see. Bergwijn is the one for Brian. All right, let's start with think loans. To be honest, that's what I think. I do, but then you see some of the news that's been reported in the last 48 hours, and you're thinking, I think if Bowen's injury was worse than we anticipate, I mean, the chances are I'll be back for the Bournemouth game, I think. Although Billy McKinney said in the press conference today that they were going to assess him and Paqueta after tomorrow, to see. Then I think we would buy in the market. But I don't think we will. And also the fact that, the Ghana did lose their first game yesterday. They play Egypt. I think it's actually tomorrow, Wednesday, something like that. And if they lose that one, then they have to get a really good result against Mozambique in order to qualify, because the top two go out, qualify by right, and then it's the three best third placers qualify. So if he loses all three of them games, they lose the next two games, Ghana, then Mohamed's back on I think that's the 22nd. Mohamed will be back at the 23rd, 24th. Job done. Were we ever in for Marsden, given he went out on loan? I don't think Chelsea would have done a loan deal for us, to be honest. Ghana play Thursday. Thank you very much. Thursday. Alex is in. You're on, mate. All good. We'll get you back. Point of this. Or tomorrow's what's the night? Tomorrow's Bristol City next. But maybe come on to the review show afterwards, mate. We're better on the patience with all the targets. I'm happy. We was linked with Savio, and if we get him, but have to wait until the summer, then I'm good with that. Not for me. I think Everton really can't buy anyone. I think Everton could well be in the Championship by the end of the week. In all honesty, if you'll get the outcome from the two today, I believe, him and Everton and Forest. So yeah, we'll see what happens there. Everyone's saying good morning, good afternoon. Very friendly. I'm off to Bristol for the game. Brilliant. You can send us some video. Lovely. Thank you. Sorted. Right. Okie dokie. Let's talk about Jack Clarke. Yeah, let's start. So, we've spoken quite a lot about Jonathan Rowe recently, but let's talk about Clarky boy. To be honest, I think if Sunderland are wise, they'll be looking. I think it's 20 million quid's the price tag for him. Now it's been claimed over the weekend that if they don't get promoted this season, then he will likely quit or in the summer. Therefore, his price tag won't be as high, I'd suggest, because he'll be looking to leave. So actually, it's believed that Sunderland, they'll need. If they're going to get rid of him, they'll get rid of him in the January transfer window. In terms of their full whack to get the 20 million, they won't get it, I don't think, if they get relegated. Not relegated, if they get promoted, because he'll want to move, and therefore his value won't be as great as it is now, where he's been banging them in. We know he's on great form. The England under 20 international, scored a great goal the weekend. I think it's 12 in the Championship this year. He joined Sunderland permanently in 2022. Under contract until June 2026, 24 goals, 20 assists in 98 competitions, games or competitions for Sunderland. We know he made 4 senior appearances for Spurs when he was 18. Sunderland are currently 6th in the Championship. And obviously there or thereabouts. So it's a calculated risk, really, for them if they get rid of him now, because obviously if they don't and they get promoted, that's more than 20 million quid, in all honesty. Look at Rowe. I think we do, because he's fast, he's raw, but I think and he obviously brings pace. He's quicker than Clarke, but Clarke I think is more skillful than Rowe, in my opinion. 20 million, 10 years, 2 million won't affect FFP. Can't do anymore, Michael, can you? You can't do these long contracts in terms of payment structures anymore now. Chelsea totally saw that as a loophole, and now they've closed the loophole. Who's not in trouble with FFP? Yeah, exactly. Reminds of Ben Rama speed-wise. Clarke thinks 20 million is a bit low. Given the important clause Tottenham have in his contract. I think 20 million is a fair price for him. I think it's fair price. Another Moyes pick, which means a dud player do. Let Tim do the buys, please, Dave. Well, Tim will be doing the buys, but obviously there will be people who Moyes likes the look of, and he'll be added to the pile. And they'll be added to the pile. There won't be, and for what Jack is homegrown, and that's something we have to bear in mind as well with who we bring in. We probably have to bring in a higher percentage of homegrown players than non-homegrown players to fulfill the quota, particularly with some of the Coventry leaving. And if Ben Johnson goes as well, then and if Danny Ings goes as well, I mean, they're all homegrown quotas players. So we have to bear that in mind. And, he'll have, we paid 20 million for Bowen 4 years ago. So that gives you an idea of the area we should be looking at. People said the same about Bowen and he turned to be a superstar. You maybe have to wonder why Spurs let him go. Well, sometimes a move happens, isn't it? And it's just at the wrong time. I mean, he was 18, came from Leeds, 18. Now he's 5 years on now. So he's older now, wiser, got a lot more hair down there. So things change, and sometimes a move. You look at someone like Josh Cullen. Josh Cullen, went to left West Ham, wasn't going to cut it. Then went to Anderlecht, became their captain. Then went to Burnley, became their captain as well. So sometimes things happen. Afternoon, Steve. Hope you're well. Yep, very well, mate. Hope you are feeling better. I watched Clarke's, and I didn't see him cross the ball with any height. Just think if that benefits with any height, just thinking if that benefits players like Souček and even Bowen. Interesting. Bergwijn would be perfect for the left. Pace and twice the play was at Spurs. Spurs over 25% set on. With Paqueta, there is skill there. Emerson with Rowe down there. Yeah, fair play. I think we will promote our youth not to play, but to cover our home ground. I totally agree. Just watch Babylon Irons. I agree with their analysis. It's a no-no, says Ralph. There we go. Maybe Jack Clarke is a future replacement for JWP. Different type of player, mate. See how the City don't play Grealish through the middle. They play him out wide, don't they? And that's sort of how he plays. Anyway, Russy B, there is the Russy Rumour rating, the original Rumour rating, 50-50. I see a 50-50 because part of me thinks it's a good shout. Part of me also I prefer Rowe as well. I do, just because I think he's a faster player. But are we really in for both of them or either of them? We don't know. That's the trouble with all these. Alfie McDougall, exactly. A great left back. He is. And I think he'll be going somewhere good in the summer. Rowe is a rough diamond that Moyes would tarnish, as Mike. Spurs have 25%, and Steve B there is a sell-on clause too. So whatever happens, if we buy any of them, apart from Rowe, then we're helping Spurs out. Let's talk about Sergio Guirassy, shall we? Now, apparently, and I say the word apparently because it's used quite a lot in this article I read, this news report. Apparently, West Ham have opened talks to sign the striker this month. Apparently. We know we're keen to bring in a striker, a forward position. And the Hammers are now believed to be in talks to sign the prolific international striker. Now, obviously, we know he's 27. He hasn't done, to be honest, this is his purple patch. He ain't done much in his career. But for some reason, this year, he's hit the ground running. And he's got, 19 goals from 16 games. He's only behind Harry Kane in the Bundesliga. I mean, the lad's very powerful. He's a unit. He's fast. He can finish this year, particularly. And as we know, he's got this 17 million. Apparently, he's got his 17 million pound release clause in his contract. Now, we know we're not going to get if we are entering talks with him, which I very much doubt we are. But even if we have entered talks with him, we know we've got a fight in our hands to get him. We know the likes of AC Milan. We know the likes of Man United, and several other top European sides are after him. Now, one thing we've been told he's looking for is guaranteed first team football. Will he get that at Man United? Probably not, because they've got Højlund. They've got Marcus Rashford. Could he get it at West Ham? Possibly. But I just don't know. I just don't know whether, I mean, a lot of it is bollocks, these types of things. But I just think that it's just a real interest. I mean, there's been, I think, 3 or 4 reports today saying we're entering a talk. But until Darmesh, until someone like X, until someone like Fabrizio, until someone like David Ornstein, there's sort of the Holy Trinity or whatever, until they start talking about it in terms, I would take it with a massive, massive pinch of salt, same as everything. Would a recall from Potts? That'd be a good idea as we are not fighting. No, wouldn't be good. Keep him over there. He's doing great. And obviously Gideon's over there as well. So midfield is not a position we need extra bodies in. So actually, Potsy over there, he's doing a great job. I ain't going to choose that over the other clubs linked to him. I suppose it comes down to money as well. We know Man United are also a bit strapped for cash as well at the moment. Got stuffed about him last night. He's actually injured as well. So obviously he's not playing for Guinea in the AFCONs. 27, he looks like 40. If we got a good few years out of him, he's worth a punt. But better team will get him over us. I think you're right there, Peter. But also, it's crazy, but for someone with that number of goals to him, you have to have a release clause. And that's the thing, it's the release clause is one of the things that just shows me that if he was this prolific striker that Stuttgart want to keep hold of and, kept hold of, why when they offered him a new deal, did they have this release clause for only 17 million quid in it until December? It's just really strange, When we signed Paqueta, we had an £85 million release clause added, so it showed the value of what we thought of the player. We haven't, you don't, Stuttgart. It's not a massive release clause for someone who's, the second highest striker in the Bundesliga. I just don't think personally, I just don't think we'll spend money. That being said, let's have a look. I've given it 5 out of 10. I think it's now 50-50. But I just can't see it, particularly also with the clubs who are after. As if Kudus, I reckon our next signing hasn't been mentioned yet, and we'll suddenly get a worldie. Let's hope so, mate. I always worry we get linked to players who are on form. 27 is his best season. It's like Antonio, wasn't it? Antonio went for a purple patch. I mean, to be honest, he was nowhere near the goal scorer in top of the Premier League or Premier League all-time goal scorers until about 2 or 3 seasons back to back, innit? For like 10, 12 goal seasons, and that just propelled him straight up. For that money, 20 clubs. Yeah, you're right. We got Danny and Antonio. He ain't coming. I love the look, but we all like strikers. We're not effectively until we change our style. You're right. You haven't watched him play to call him pants. He's easy well a fighting chance. He's good. Alfie's good. Got great delivery. He'll be first team football at West Ham, bone on the wing. Do you think it's likely the likes of would generally leave this window? Yeah. I think it is. Definitely Ben Rama. I can see the reasonings behind the Gerd going. But I could definitely see what's name going. Definitely Ben Rama. Before you turn around to be 30, we think of replacing him. Yeah, but it's not. But it sounds ridiculous. But 17 million quid ain't a massive outlay now in football, is it? Really? When you're looking at, say, the likes of Jack Clarke, looking at the likes of Jonathan Rowe, you're looking at least 20, 25 million for them. 17 million quid isn't that much. In a weird way, but we'll see. We're crap at buying strikers, though, Russy B. Indeed, we are. We ain't getting Jimenez, mate. We ain't getting Jimenez. Do you think we're gonna? 30 million is what has been quoted, but it's not. You're gonna be paying 40-50 million pounds for him. He's that good, and there's a lot of other clubs after him. We ain't getting Jimenez, mate. I reckon we're for a chance of Tony. No way, Jose. When there's no way we getting him either. 9 more, he'll buy another Hugo. This is the only year he has hit the ground running, not scored much for. Indeed, that's what I'm trying to say. We didn't do well the CF type. We would have been better off going for Chad. I'm surprised we're not going for Chad because they reckon, see there, I can start seeing spending money because apparently it's like 6-7 million quid is his price tag for Southampton. Anything around there, they're entertaining him, letting him go, and that ain't a bad deal. 6-7 million for that, take him. In terms of what he could do, and again, decent alternative off the bench when everyone's fit. Be a great signing. Far too pricey is indeed. I mean, I saw a narrative which made sense, in terms of if the new manager was Arnie Slot, for example, and that's part of what he wanted as part of his package to come to West Ham was he wanted Jimenez, he wants to build a team around him. Then I could see that, and it's almost like it's been, moved the goalposts from whether do it in the summer, doing it now in January because of a need, but I just can't see it happening. Antonio wants Arsenal to win the league. Very good. Jason, good evening to you. I think Broja is the ideal Moyes signing. Antonio type, younger, faster, better with the ball at his feet. We'll talk about Broja in a minute. I'll give Russ not napping this afternoon 9.5 here. Sorry, I don't know why I mean to. It's so rude. Just thank yourselves, people, now not signing for TS and not Sullivan. They have been our major problem for years. Chucking Moyes and the deal too. Russ for Jimenez. Chad and swap for Ings. Jonathan David must come in. Jonathan David is coming to the end of his contract, which is why there has been like noise from Twitter. But that's what it is, I think, noise. Wasn't there opportunity that we were looking at some of that team was talking to? Yeah, he's gone to Benfica. He scored in his debut. Marco Leonardo. Seen and yeah, not going to happen. The only way Anderson's going to help us out is by going to Juventus and then spending 10 million quid or whatever, and we get 5 million back. League One players cost 5 to 6. Yeah, channels fits. And Moyes like leaves on the bite, more put money in the pot. That's why I could see that happening. We haven't been specifically linked to him yet, but I can see that happening. Minus 46. God, mental, mate. Will be ideal. Some fans going to a frenzy, believing 2 Bob channels, Sky Sports, all the rags, the rumours, and shit weights. So, indeed, Steve, you're right. You're right. But I get excited. I mean, some people get bored of them. I enjoy the rumours. I enjoy the news because it's, you sort of dare to dream, and you always get yourself heartbroken, but you dare to dream. Anderson does not have the heart to be a West Ham player or fur coat like Knickers. Anderson isn't coming to West Ham, don't worry. But as I said, the only way Anderson can help us is by going to someone like Juve or going to anyone, because we get 50% sell-on fee, don't we, as part and parcel of our deal with Lazio. Let's talk about Jeremy Frimpong. Oh, wow, this was an interesting one over the weekend. Apparently, West Ham are reportedly in a tussle with Liverpool to secure the services of the Bayer Leverkusen standout Jeremy Frimpong. I mean, this one is a complete non-starter, but we'll go for the motions. Obviously, Bayer Leverkusen, top of the Bundesliga. We know Xabi Alonso's in charge. Obviously, Tim Steinton used to be director of football there. Frimpong came from the youth system at Man City. And then he went to Celtic, I believe. I remember they bought him for a nominal fee before then transferring him to the Bundesliga. I wonder if I think he's homegrown because he came through the City's youth system. He's 23. He's an attacking right fullback. A bit like like Carl Walker was like just getting bombing forward. Trent Alexander-Arnold, sort of fast, pacey, bombing forward. I mean, he's a tricky operator. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen, people. Yes, we have the Steinton connection, but no, this ain't going to happen. It's just been real paper talk here. No chance indeed. Was glad to be on the channel last night. Yeah, thanks, Steve. Anytime, man. I'm sure Budgie will love you on. It was. I watched a little bit. It's good fun. It was good channel. Sad thing about it is we get more money if you insult. You're totally right. More likely to get ping pong than Frimpong. When he was at Celtic was the time to get him. Indeed, it'd be great. Not happening. Not forgetting to shops in. He does, but this one ain't happening. As a pro, Jack Clarke is still in the Championship. He'll be in the Premiership by the end. Frimpong, who's on the drugs and the mutts. We ain't getting him ripped us apart indeed. Boniface, Frimpong and Tar in there ready for Alonso to take over. Boniface is left, isn't he? Is he gone somewhere else, I thought? He's already gone. He might not have left yet. He was being heavily linked with someone. No, he wasn't. Sorry, he's still there. I thought he'd gone. Why did I thought he'd gone somewhere? No, I can't remember. No, yeah. Frimpong story. Yeah, we still got the one. Going on a ping pong. Frimpong would be great, but it's never going to happen. Indeed. Pipe dreams. Where we look with Becca, we were. If you had a chance, Rowe or Clarke, Rowe. Just pace you. 2 out of 10 for me. 2 out of 10. And I think that's generous. Let's talk about Broja. Now apparently, he's leaving Chelsea. Although I think I've heard about 20 million times. He's leaving Chelsea. Chelsea want 30 million for him. And obviously we know, as I said before, that he is a Moyes. Moyes has got a hard on for the 22-year-old. We've been linked countless times. He's been at Chelsea obviously since his childhood days. He is a homegrown player. I keep saying that because I think that is important. He's found to cement a place in the team, and the Blues are looking to sign a new striker. So they're trying to sell him to bring someone else in. Injuries haven't helped. He's got injured quite a bit. He's got 2 goals in 16 appearances so far for Chelsea this year. He might not have scored a truckload, but maybe the Hammers see something in him, he's got huge potential. Chelsea need to let him go for FFP as well. I just can't see. We'd have to go back to changing the way we play to sort of almost Antonio times, in terms of playing with a big lad or a target man. We haven't played like that for the last 10 games, and we've been doing well on the whole since then. So what we got here? Broja's the new Batshuayi. He'll get a serious injury. You're totally right. No to him. Broja done nothing since injury. Give it a pass. Love Broja. He's my Broja from another Moja. Very good. Don't rate him. Hardly prolific. I think when you line him up against us being linked, I know I say linked because whether we are or not is another question. Linked with the likes of Guirassy, being linked to the likes of Jimenez, and you're thinking, 30 million would be, is the price, is not the price tag, but 30 million, is the Jimenez number. You think if Broja's 30 million, you'd rather spend 30 million on Jimenez than Broja. And I would totally agree. But I just think some of them just don't go away, do they? Do you know what I mean? Broja had a half decent season at Saints, nothing else. Injuries, indeed. High rush, not Broja, injury prone, not as good as some people think. He's struggling to find a net. Do you believe there'll be a flurry of activity on transfer? I think at the moment, David, I think everyone is still feeling out what's going on with FFP in terms of Forest and Everton. And I think there has been a massive slowdown in the transfer market this year. No one's really bought anyone of substance. Some of my, City bought like a Brazilian player and sent him back and stuff like that. No one's bought anyone yet, really, in all honesty. I'm just looking now. It's like loan deals. I'm just looking in the Premier League. Yes, Spurs are probably the only ones who've done any decent business. Timo Werner, and they got Radu, didn't they? But then, they got a Dyer. Sancho went. I'm just looking down. There's not really huge. Timo Werner. Classic out. Brenton Diaz in on loan. No, I'm looking forward. There's not a huge amount of ins. Obviously Van der Beek went to Eintracht Frankfurt on a loan, so there's not a massive amount of activity. I think you will get a lot of. I think you get a lot of loans. A lot of loans will be kicking about towards because people are having to start looking at because do they have to re-register the squad soon? And then obviously they're looking at what they have to bring in and move players around and move pieces to make sure they, have all the homegrown, the academy quota, all that type of stuff. Over the last 20 years, Moyes should have signed type every time. Cuba's like him and Marcus Bent. That's why he loves him. Yeah. Looks crap. Roy dodged the body with Borges and Alex Scott. Alex Scott got injured So I think you'll see it'll come good. Ghana out, ain't they? More or less, we need Kudus back. Not yet, Jason. So obviously they have to play. They play Egypt on Thursday. I'm led to believe now. Obviously Egypt picked up a point against Mozambique, and obviously Wasem lost to Cape Verde in the last minutes, really. So whoever wins that game realistically is through as the second place. To be fair. But the likelihood, I mean, it's Mo Salah versus Mo Kudus. Kudus will be back for that game. Chris Hughton will get him. He'll be fit for that game. He didn't play, obviously, Cape Verde. They did the right thing there. I think that if they didn't, we'd have something to say about it. But he did the right thing in terms of not playing because he wasn't fit for that game. Chances are he will be playing some part of the Egypt game because it's critical. If they lose that game, which they are probably going to, then they have to get a decent result against Mozambique, who themselves drew against Egypt. So they're no mugs because the top two go through in each group. And then the top three best placed third place sides in the groups go through. So if that doesn't happen and they lose next two games, then Mo's back on the 23rd. I think it's the 23rd. So could be back in time for the next round of the FA Cup when we get through, or Bournemouth. Won't change it. I don't think it will now. Tomorrow night is going to be a Hammer Horror show with Fanny Ings up top. Oh, Willie! Will it not be Divine? Isn't Kudus injured yet? Can't see you going for former ACL merchants unless it's for peanuts. Russy B. I mean, I've given him a fight because Noisy does get one. He does tend to get one, and it could be Broja. I don't think it will be, but it could be. What we got here? Pete is fit, but I reckon he is, but fit for the next game. Yeah, agreed. Granny Dinklage striker and walking wheelchair is very good. If Forrest are in trouble, take a punt on Hudson-Odoi or Morello. Morelli, I really liked him. He's a good player. 4-4-2 with Ings with Obama. Now, if we're led to believe what we've heard is Moyes has something up his sleeve because of all this. Maybe it's a new way. Maybe it's a 4-4-2. Maybe it's a 3-4-3. Maybe it's a new formation to sort of accommodate for the situation we're in at the moment. We don't know. As I've said many times, the 18s, 21s, they all play 3-4-3. But we don't in the first team, which always surprises me. Every other sort of like from ground up, all play 3-4-3, playing the same way. And then it comes to the top and they play 4-1-4-1 or whatever they call it, 4-1-2-2-1. And I wonder. We'll see. Any loan deals will be shit. They want to offload. Yeah, quite possibly. But sometimes things don't work. Sometimes a deal don't work and then it's a loan deal, a loan with obligation to buy, I think it's always a good one. If it's a loan deal with nothing, then there's no point. Fred, I hope you're my friend. Chelsea gone woke. West Ham win, says Pierre Cheshire. Very good. -18 this morning in Detroit. Wow. It'll be 4-2-3-1. Hopefully not. Russ, if striker wasn't injured and with Forest FFP, do you think Moyes might have tried to sign him because he fits the puzzle? Yes. But I thought if we were going to get him, we would have got him at Union Berlin in terms of Tuani. I love him. I thought he's a great player. Or spending next year's money obligation to buy. They're not really loans. Indeed, yeah. It's like try before you buy, and it's like buy now, pay later. That's what it's not loan. It's a buy now, pay later. It's like Tilo Kira, to all intensive purposes, will be a Monaco player next season because they're really the conditions to buy are very, very not tough, if that makes sense, in terms of minutes and needs to play and appearances. Looking at the league, I see us with a huge chance of getting up there with investment as other teams. FFP. You're right. And it's the same situation we had 2 seasons ago, when we was going for the Champions League. Really, but we sort of were, but we didn't buy a striker. The thing is, David, this is not Moyes. This is not before. It was under Moyes. It was Moyes, but this is under Steindon now, and so I have no doubt that they are trying to bring in players. No doubt whatsoever. Which players are, I do not know. In what positions, I do not know. But I believe that we are working tirelessly to bring in players. We're also working tirelessly to sign up all the kids to long-term deals. You've seen Patrick Kelly sign a new long-term deal. There was Northern Irish centre half. Can't remember. Briggs? No, not Briggs. Michael. Someone in the chat will know. But yeah, I honestly think if we can get 6 points, then we will end up sixth come what May. Come May, but it's a big if. Next 2 wins, safe indeed. We'll be safe indeed. We'll get one other. Is completely obsessed. I do think we do need another centre half at least. Marshall and Mbama up the top, leaving the ends in the care home. 4, 2, 1, 2, 2, 1, 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, that's right. Henderson, hopefully not. We spoke about him on Thursday or Friday. Moyes will probably be throwing in. I don't think he will. I think there'll be the bench before, because actually, if you look through the side, we've got enough squad players to play the game. Now, as I was saying, I don't think it's a good idea to bring him in. I think it's a great idea to bring him in, bring some of the kids in. However, we know, and I said this the other day, Bristol City are really physical. And if anything, what the Wycombe game showed us is the kids, the under-21s, aren't physically strong enough at the moment. You know, every other department they were beating Wycombe, hands down, apart from the physicality. And we know Bristol are going to bring a massive level of physicality to the replay because they brought that for the first leg. Now, I think there'll be a lot on the bench, and hopefully it'll be a let's get it done, let's get it professional, and let's bring the kids on. Whether that happens is another thing, but I could see a lot being on the bench. Are we signing Lingard? No. So are we wasting that Lingard loan? Was a waste of time then, Russ? So are we saying that we yeah. In the grand scheme of things, Budge. I mean, he did great. He boosted it. But what I'm saying is 99 times out of 10 then, if we should have had loan. If that Lingard deal should have been loan with option to buy or obligation to buy. It should not have been a straight loan deal. Dan makes a great point. Dan Fandango, never fall in love with a loan player, and we did. There was none of us thought we got that Jesse Lingard that we thought we was going to get at all, and I think it took us all by surprise. But I think actually that when you're bringing in a loan player, there's nothing unless there's nothing to motivate a player. So if we brought in Chalobah on loan, for example, yes, you'll get some game time. But if he wants to move on, then having an obligation to buy, having an option to buy, means if he puts a good shift in, we'll buy him. And I think if it's a straight loan deal, he knows he knows whatever happens, he's going back to Chelsea. And he might go out on loan again, but he's going back to Chelsea. And that's not what he wants. I don't know. No matter what system Moyes cannot manage a large squad, I'm inclined to agree. Henderson off to Ajax. It does look like it. Anything Moyes has up his sleeve is only thing is his arm and a dirty handkerchief. Yeah, honestly, Brighton have just done the dirty. Boca Juniors, Valente. He is mental. He's a left back I've really wanted for a while, and they've got him for they apparently 7-8 million was the release clause. Honestly, well, he'll be playing in he'll be playing for City in the next 2-3 years. He is fucking brilliant, and I'm surprised no one else has put him for him. He will never get to the next level. But Steve, the next level so to be honest, that means Champions League. isn't it? Really, that's Champions League and titles. Because we're at this, I'd say we're at sort of like that, sort of say 10-6. That's the level we're in. The next level is 1-4, 1-4, 1-5, isn't it? And there's only 5 clubs there. So, are we ever going to genuinely get there unless there's a massive, influx of money? And still, then under FFP, you still. I mean, look at Newcastle. Everyone's like, "Oh, I think Newcastle are going to make it." They'll probably be lucky to make European football this year, and they're going to have to sell one, if not two, of their big big players to fund a massive spending spree, which seems ridiculous. So sometimes, actually, are we at the level now? Are we? I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. Even Lingard's agent can't bother to find it. Well, he's sacked him, many. Forbes, thank you. How many windows will be in the situation rebuilding? It seems forever. Well, we've got to do another rebuild next week. Forbes, that's it. Yep. Under 21's up already. Indeed. Don't wait up. Indeed. Yeah, he's brilliant. Absolute class. Can't understand why we go one up in front and then not make an effort to increase it. Well, he did. Well, I mean, I think we tried. But I think Bristol City, to their credit, just went up a gear. And they started knocking us about. And I don't think we can handle it. To be honest. We didn't have a CDM. Yeah, I've always said that. We definitely need another CDM just to try and sort of give us a bit more. Well, particularly when what's name's out, when Edson's like suspended or stuff. We've got some more people to talk about, actually. I just remembered. Let's go for some more. Morning, afternoon, hope you well. No loan just yet. We've bullied by Bristol. I agree. We'll throw the cup a bit in my house in it. I think, as I said, if we'd got drawn against Liverpool away or Man City or whatever, then we probably would have that illness will turn up again, illness bug. Just hands up occasionally, the sickness bug. But I reckon we'll go. I reckon we'll go for it. Because you've got your next round of the cup, which will be next week. Yeah, next Saturday or Sunday at home. So another home tie. So, financially good on, against Forest or Blackpool. So a good, a chance of getting through to. And there's 4-5. Now I think is it 5 or 6 all Premier League ties in the fourth round. So again, a bit similar to the Carabao. You get yourself another decent draw. You could be in the quarters without even really hitting anyone of, the likes of City and people like that. He'll only play who's available. And 2-1's 1-2 up. A few regulars missing. Can we play? Yeah, exactly. I think there will be. I mean, you've got there are a few out, but also a lot of them played. So the likes of Orford. And Skulls played on Friday in the cup game, which was really good. Yeah, they've got they've got Orford's playing, typical. Just as I said that. Yeah, so Marshall's not in the squad. They've got Skulls isn't in the squad. And Lang's not in the squad. Oh no, Lang is playing, isn't he? Forbes. So they got Knightbridge, Clayton, Louisel, Forbes, Lang, Robinson, Orford, Kelly. They've got Earthy, Moore, and Schweier on the bench. Terry, Turim. They got Briggs. They've got Rigg, Dan Rigg, Josh Briggs, Dan Rigg, and Josh Ayala. Who I thought Josh tried really hard that week. And I tell you what, I went to watch the 18s. They were bloody good. Great. It was really, really great. I'm still heartbroken over leaving. If we lose, well, it'll be funny if we lose, indeed, yeah. If we finish the season with no more transfers in and out, can we finish? We're not going to win Europe without any extra. Can finish top 8, though. Whatever you mention, Moyes, HO, I'm eating, mate. Moyes, I don't understand. Oh, hard on here. Do you know our budget or need to sell first? I think we always got to sell first anyway, just because we have to. I think another 3 or 4 years in Europe and conference would stand us in good stead. Think about top 4. Yeah, I totally agree. I think there's the next one. I don't think we were established top 7. We're only in Europe. I thought we're always in the conversation of top 8. I'd say now. overdue to sign for West Ham. We need to bring quality players. Still get visions of Gerrard's daisy cutter. Oh, don't tell me about it. I agree. The cha-cha slide with Russ sounds good. Just realised I've been watching live from the beginning. I really, really want another year in Europe. Yeah, I mean that's the thing. We've got 3 years in Europe. We've never done that in our history, and now we're talking about going to the next level. I think for me, it's consolidation. It is he's regularly appearing in the Europa League next 2-3 years, and then because I mean, look at Newcastle. Newcastle, Champions League, yada yada yada. And now they're really not in a position to probably get Champions League. And then the investors will be going like, we want Champions League, and they'll probably chuck it Eddie Howe and bring in Jose Mourinho to sort of guarantee that type of thing. But Nana would fit in next, and I'd test Forest with Gibbs as well. Top 7 set. Only way to Ireland over 3 hours drive. Watching the final or for Fana. Yeah, some good players about. Another player we've been linked to, and I'll talk about the kids in a minute because I think it's really good. Is this man Callum Chambers? Not Unai Emery has come out and said that Chambers and Bertrand Traore are available, and there could be a loan deal for Callum, who we've been linked to before. Again, not the most glamorous, exciting, but he could come in and potentially look after a couple of places for us. But it's still at the early stages. 50-50 for him. And then for Traore, not the Traore you're thinking of, Bertrand Traore from Villa. Nice pacey wing. Again, a loan deal potentially. But are Villa going to do business with us when we're sort of in and around that same area as them? Again, I'll give it, I think, slightly more likely for him. A 6 out of 10. But again, still early days. So this is the list. That's the list so far. We're at 46 names so far this year. So yeah, we're quite impressive. I think we're only 3 players away from challenging. I see what you do, and a new manager. Rory's fast and too young at Clarke. I agree. We need a decent bench. That's what we need to compete. You need a decent bench in order to give you that sort of that next oomph. Because at the moment we haven't got that oomph. We haven't got that next, bringing a bunch of people on, to change a game. That's what we do not have at the moment. Come on, West Ham, indeed. 12 years we was playing Doncaster and Peterborough. We have. I mean, the fact is, 3rd year we've been in the Europe, first time ever in our history, 3rd time ever, and we've successfully all 3 European campaigns finished top of the group as well. 2 in Europe, one obviously 2 in the Europa League and 1 in the conference, but still, that's an achievement. We got to a semi-final of the Europa League. We got to a final. We won the bloody thing last year, and we're already through to the last 16. That ain't bad. Was once a sound player, missed it. Enough of the rumours. We need to hear signings. We're going to hear nothing. Like Fleetwood Mac with all the rumours. Ex-Arsenal indeed. To compete, we need a good bench that is rotated. We need a good bench, and I think if you have a good bench, then I think you have more. The manager has more faith in being able to rotate. For me, it's like taking off. If Bowen gets a knock, and who are you going to bring on? Ben Rama? Ben Rama isn't at the races at the moment. Ben Rama's checked out. Fornals has checked out. I was reading today about Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson being linked with moves to Villarreal and Real Betis. Fair play to him. I'd be right over there this weather. Tell you. But yeah, no, I think you may well see tomorrow some of the players in terms of being available in the squad. I don't think you'll see the likes of Callum Marshall start. But as I said, I was at the game on Friday, which was, I think it was about 600 people there. It was really well attended. Get yourself. I think we're playing. The under-21s are playing on. I want to say it's next Monday. It's next Monday or the Monday after. So if you can get to that game, Rush Green. Can't remember who we're playing, but anyway, really good night. There's about 500-600 people. Friday night, loads of ex-players were there. Obviously, Jonesy was there, seeing his boys. Stuart Slater, Tony Cotty was there. You had Anton, you had Elliot Ward, You had Paul Goddard was there. There was obviously all the David Moyes was there, as always is. He was there watching. He watched pretty much the whole game, including the extra time. And obviously loads of scouts and stuff there. But the kids were really good, really good, really good. And there was some really good performances. There's a player I really he's my new favourite player. I've seen live twice now, and twice he's been for me the best player on the pitch. And he played against Southampton. He played right back, also right wing back type thing. Yet on Friday, he played right at the three centre backs, and he's only 16. And his name's Erdris Golombekis, and he is, well, the kids will say him a baller. He is an absolute baller, and I think you're going to see a really, hopefully, another really good defender / right back going through, really comfortable in the ball, playing against one of the best sides in the under 18s in Man City. Did not look out of place for a 16-year-old. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant player. Are we being checked for punishment tomorrow as well as, or are we totally clear? Well, we're totally clear at the moment. As I said, today we'll hear about Nottingham Forest and Everton again, apparently. Yeah, you're right. I think the last couple of performances, I think Fornals' best performance was the Bristol City game, to be honest. But until then, it hasn't really had much. Shouldn't be in the squad as they're not interested in playing. Well, we sort of have to at the moment, unfortunately, because they're senior first team players. But I agree, you probably some of the kids in there probably play a lot better. If you had a better bench, do you feel Moyes will start to rotate Russ? If we get a better bench, he never has, even at Everton or Manchester. I'd question Everton. He had a different bench, maybe one or two, but he'll always pick his 11. But I think there's more, as I said, if he had someone like, I don't know, I'll say it again, someone like Hugo Ekitike, someone like that on the bench, throwing him on is, to me, a better option than throwing on Fornals if we're changing a game. No disrespect to Pablo, but he will bring on better. I reckon could manage 15 and then pad the squad of up to 7 kids. Yeah, it's probably right, mate. Probably about right. Quite see Daggers play Chelsea and Man City in conference in the future. Yeah, indeed, by the sounds of it. I hope we come out mad tomorrow. I want to see Soufal lay a few out. Someone said Wilfried Zaha returns to Premier League as a squad player. That's the type of style teams in the lower league. We have to cope with it. I mean, not even lower league. They're only in the Championship. They just put it on us and we weren't. And as I said, for me, I just thought, for those types of games, you need someone who's a bit Craig Dawson-y, just to lay something on someone and just, Bristol City were all kids, really. All pumped up kids. That's what they were, really. And we let them do it. And back in the day, if we were playing that game and the likes of, I don't know, Julian Dix was in the side, or Razor, or Mad Dog, or John Moncur, or Trevor Morley, or any of that generation, they would not have got away with that. They would not have got away with that. They would have put something on those boys and scared the shit out of them. But we didn't, because we haven't got that sort of type of mentality in some way. I think we're too nice. We're not nasty enough. I do it like, a few sort of like fouls, but we're not nasty. We don't scare teams. We don't intimidate them physically, and we should do. The size of some of our players. Mavropanos, 6'5". You've got Zuma's 6'2". You've got Ogbonna 6'3". You've got Tommy Soucek 6'3". We've got Alvarez. Alvarez can put it, but we just don't seem to be nasty enough. And that's what we need sometimes. Sometimes a different type of game. You just need to get in there and just get stuck in. And that's what we've got to do tomorrow. It's a complete sellout. It's going to be a massive atmosphere again. Great, it'll be a great, game in terms of the neutrals. And we just need to go out and just dominate it. My rant's over. What is the trend of people saying Bristol and Manchester instead of full team names? Sorry, Bristol City. Games against championships, you got to show bottle, fight, and desire, and have it with them. Simple as that. Totally. And if we'd gone out that Bristol City game, right, Peter, Bristol City game, and we'd scored a quick one, say we got another one, they'd have given up. They'd have given it. Ian Bishop would have put them in. Indeed. Actually, Bishop's over in a couple of weeks' time. That's because hockey player and me talking because I dropped the gloves. Yeah, that's what you want. Just drop the gloves and have a fight in the middle of the pitch. I can't believe that's allowed. I really can't. We've been a soft side for a while. Bilic got up into Europe through fair play. Great shout. Yeah, it's a great shout. We probably, since the likes of Mad Dog and that lot left, that was the last time we had. But we usually had like one or two. Even when I was thinking, even like Big Sam, someone like Kevin Nolan, he's a nasty type of player, and you thought he would have just said to people, just get nasty buys. I'm off to work. Have a good one. Team won't be so relaxed tomorrow. You're totally right. They'll be relaxed tomorrow. They're totally right. Not getting the days. They did have a couple of days off. So anyway, keep an eye on the channel. Any new stuff we'll bring to you. We did have headlines. It was this morning. Go back and check it out. It was the press conference from Billy McKinley ahead of tomorrow's game. But anyway, take care. Stay safe. Stay warm. Don't forget to give it a like. Give it a like for me, please. And watch the little button go funny once you do it. And the subscribe button if you're not a subscriber. Take care. Stay safe. Stay warm. Stay humble. Keep the faith, my friends. And come on, you bloody Irons. Irons!